Did I hit the stream button or record button? That is the question. I definitely hit the stream button. So, we've got, holy shit, I want to tell you right now, I don't know if any of you guys have streamed before, but usually it takes like a couple seconds, or, well, I say a couple seconds, maybe 10 to 15 to like have it pop up on the live stream actually after hitting stream. This just popped up and literally right after I hit start streaming, so I don't know what the hell's going on. That must be some black magic. I haven't slept at all. After this stream, I'm gonna play Zelda on Wii U because I didn't put any money out for Nintendo Switch because honestly, I don't want to spend $300 on a console / handheld type device that really there's nothing on right now. And I know it's gonna be Dragon Ball Z Q&A. It has gone sexual. I baited you all in with that. Well, probably like 3 of you. Don't feel like buying a Switch quite yet for $300. That's just, especially, I mean, no. But I'm gonna do this Q&A maybe like half an hour. I know that kind of seems like it's low, but I'm like so low on sleep. So I'm gonna pull up the comments here on my phone just because like I can't see that see the Q&A at the same time. It's just my setup is it's not the best for it. It really isn't. So let's go ahead and get into these questions here. I have a raging blast for Toa. That is a really good way of putting it, and I respect that. Do you still use Ask FM? I want to say something like really what's the word? I don't have the word for it. There's too much. There's too little sleep going on here to figure out a complex word like. I want to be a joker right now. I'm not making any sense. Do you like what like? Okay, I understand there's joke questions, but when you do a joke question like, "Do you like Dragon Ball?" I mean, come on, bro. Come on. Favorite DBZA character? I don't know what DBZA is. I guess maybe abridged. DBZ abridged is all I could really think of. I would probably say I don't have one, but obviously, you know, Vegeta. It's funny, Goku's my favorite Dragon Ball Z character, but not really, I guess, necessarily my top tier in terms of favorites of Dragon Ball Z abridged. I do really like Cell now, though. I think that's got a good place for me. But Vegeta, I mean, you can't go wrong with Vegeta. But I'd probably say Cell. Dragon Ball Super Piccolo versus Bootanks. That is, you know, obviously we haven't seen what he does in the Universe Survival arc yet, but I would say, given what we've seen, that's tough. But I'd still say Bootanks because we haven't. It's hard to power scale Piccolo with Frost, but obviously Piccolo's a lot weaker. Even though people say like, oh, he kept up with Frost, but Frost was like super weakened. I always thought that Piccolo in the Universe 6 arc. I know me and Mike from Laugh Stop Media talked about it, and to be honest, I can't pinpoint exactly what we said, but I would still say Piccolo had to have been stronger than like Fat Boo. Like Piccolo might be as strong as like current angry Fat Boo, but that's just, it really is speculation because we have seen so little, right? So it's tough. It really is tough. See if we can get anything from the chat here. Dragon Ball Nation hates Dragon Ball confirmed. Yeah, you know what? I can't disagree with that. But yeah, I would say Bootanks just because, I mean, I can't see Piccolo getting that strong yet, and we haven't seen any evidence to suggest that he would be anywhere near Bootanks. Just because of how much stronger regular Super Boo is than Fat Boo, I mean, it's hard to believe. What kind of question is this? I'll answer it. Janemba versus Pikkon / Goku Fusion. I would say the Fusion because, assuming he can still go Super Saiyan, I mean, Vegeta is stronger than Pikkon, but a non-Majin Vegeta would not be head and shoulders like just leagues and leagues and leagues ahead. Yes, he'd be a lot stronger, But just based on how much stronger regular Gogeta was, I mean, if he can go Super Saiyan 1 or even 2 if he would need it, then, I mean, I'd say the fusion hands down. Just based on how Janemba got melted by Gogeta, really. Hirudegarn versus Mystic Gohan. I mean, I will not lie to you. It's been probably about, well, it's been a while since I've seen Wrath of Dragon, but, I mean, Gohan, if I remember, didn't really show that he was any weaker than what he was in the Buu Saga, or there wasn't any indication of that, and he still didn't beat Hirudegarn. Now, Goku really didn't beat him because he was stronger, but, again, Gohan still couldn't do it, so, I mean, I don't think that Gohan was any weaker than the Buu Saga one. I mean, there's just no indication of it. At least from what I remember, I'm probably wrong because I get everything wrong, right? So I'm probably missing something. I haven't seen it in a little while, I won't lie. I've not seen that film in a little while. So let's see here. Justin Thomas in the chat. So in the English version, Lord Beerus said that Goku should have kept Super Saiyan instead of SSJ3. Does that mean it's wasted transformation? Is that in Super? I won't lie. The last few episodes of Super I have missed in English. I gotta catch up on them. There's a lot of other stuff to look around for. I gotta catch up. I got them recorded on TV, so I'll have to check those out. I don't know if that was in, if you're talking about Super's dub, but I missed that line of dialogue, so I had to look at that. Super Buu Vegito Absorb versus Bills, bro. Super Buu Vegito, I would still say Beerus, just based, I mean, Super Buu is basically going to be like adding a penny to a stack of bills, basically. I swear, no pun intended. I was literally just making an analogy, and now I feel like an asshole. But, I would still say Beerus. Especially because we just, at this, I mean, Beerus has so much unknown power to us, I feel like, still. That's all. Bills, bro. Janemba Kaioken times 50 versus Mr. Gohan. By the way, hopefully the audio all sounds good. I assume it probably does. Janemba Kaioken times 50 versus Mr. Gohan. I would say, even though I don't think Janemba is as strong as Super Buu, and I've talked about that extensively before, Janemba with a 50 times Kaioken, just based off the top of my head, definitely would be stronger than Mr. Gohan. But that's just based off my head. I mean, doing the math, you know, the subconscious math, which obviously Dragon Ball and math don't always agree, Mr. Gohan shouldn't be 50 times stronger than Janemba. So, I mean, I placed Janemba somewhere in between Kid Buu and Super Buu, but closer to the Kid Buu tier, if that makes sense. I mean, I still stand by. Even though he powered up against Gogeta, the main reason Goku was having trouble initially was that dimension manipulation, how he's going through and really catching Goku off guard. Goku landed some good blows, and I've seen people say, oh, Janemba wasn't hurt by him at all, but, I mean, you should probably go rewatch that fight scene, because Janemba was definitely damaged or had been inflicted some pain upon him at certain points, so, you know, whatever, I guess. Didn't flinch. Darth Vader versus Yamcha. This comes from the chat. Yamcha, but, I mean, the thing is, I don't know, like, all the outside Star Wars stuff, but, I mean, I'd still say Yamcha, but who knows? But I'd still say Yamcha. I mean, he slapped Beerus, so he's automatically stronger than pretty much everyone else. Nova Shenron versus Black. See, this is one of those, the GT things, I don't even know at this point, because GT is so bad at showing, like, feats and stuff, and, you know, you can easily say Black would shit on everyone in GT, and that's very quite possible. The problem is that it's all feats, and GT just was not the series that showed that stuff, but there's definitely more evidence to support that the majority of super characters that are high tier would be stronger than GT ones at this point. But again, I still feel like there's just, you could probably make an argument. I mean, I don't think that there is a definitive answer one way or another, but there's definitely more evidence to one side, I would say. And it doesn't matter how many times I say it, there's always going to be people in the comments that say I'm an idiot for even saying it. It's like, I don't care, I'll speak my mind. I mean, say what I think, I guess, even if it's wrong. But if I say it, it's correct, so, you know, you have to deal with that. Who is truly the strongest? Merge Zamasu versus Vegito Blue. Vegito, I don't see how Zamasu would be stronger, right? Nappa versus Baby Broly. I think if Baby Broly, just because Baby Broly got like stabbed and stuff, even though he has a power level of 10,000, maybe even higher than that because of like anger or just stupid spontaneous power up. If Nappa wanted to kill him, he probably could put him down, but speculation, right? The Omni... Oh, come on, bro. The Omni King versus Ultimate Perfect Cell. Ultimate Perfect Cell can destroy 999 quintillion universes and 999 sextillion dimensions just by blinking his eyes. One switch is something... Almost burped there. He can do 100 decillion... Decillion, isn't that like 10... sets of zeros? I don't know. I'm not even going to try to say what it is. Times faster than a second of his power is beyond infinity. Okay, Ultra Perfect Cell wins, bro. I mean, I'm not even going to have to read the whole thing, but, I mean, you already know who wins, bro. Come on. Let's see. I'm trying to look at it. I'm trying to read from the chat and from the Q&As, or from the Ask FM. Mike says Xeno wins. Mike, you clearly do not know anything about Ultimate Perfect Cell, because he is the champion. I suggest you watch my video on Ultimate Perfect Cell. Make sure to have ad block removed. Just kidding. We know Mike already saw that video anyways. Imagine time skip Kamehameha. That's what Dan's saying in the chat. We already know Dan in the chat. Always coming up with the good shit. Time skip Kamehameha. I don't even know like what to think of, like how that would be performed or how that would even look. Matthew Stewart, did you see the Middle Earth Shadow of War trailer, homeboy? I saw it existed. I didn't click on it. I played Shadow of Mordor and I thought it was pretty good, but I don't think it was quite highly regarded as a lot of critics may have placed it. I'm very critical with my open world games, and if it's not a Rockstar game, it doesn't feel like a true fleshed out experience most of the time for me. A lot of open world games don't have that layer of polish. Like, I played Ghost Recon Wildlands. I'm a huge Ghost Recon fan, but number one, it lacking a lot of tactical depth, but there's such a huge level of polish that isn't there, and the same with like other Ubisoft, like Watch Dogs and Watch Dogs 2, Saints Row especially. You know, that's not Ubisoft, I know, but very few open world games can match the polish of a Rockstar game, and when you get a world that big, you want it to work, and Zelda looks like it's going to be that level of polish. The Witcher 3 is, but at the same time, there's a lot less systems at play, a lot less physics. I'm nerding out here about video games, but I could care less. So it's just like one of those things where there's so few open world games that can capture that layer, that depth, and the weight to their worlds that really makes things feel grounded. And that's what I appreciate about Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead, all those Rockstar open world games that they happen to make. They just know how to do it. And there's so many games that are open world just for the sake of it, and they don't work right. The physics don't work. Nothing in the world seems like it makes sense. Metal Gear Solid 5, another example. All the systems are working nice, feels grounded. So that's what I appreciate. Why did I get on that topic again? What was I answering? I don't even remember at this point. Oh, Shadow of Mordor. It's a good game. I just don't think it's as good as people think. But I'll probably watch the trailer in at least a week. Within the week, I'll get to it. The Cell Saga is after the Boo Saga. I bet you're thinking this guy doesn't know what he's... I don't even know what this question is, to be honest with you. Legic versus Super Boo. That's, I would say Legic, but... The reason is because Goku and GT, at least, you know, the earlier portions when he broke out of that game show dimension, I mean, he broke out with a Kamehameha, which isn't the same as Gotenks' Scream to break out of a dimension, but I would think that Goku breaking out of that dimension or busting the whole thing up, really, with a Kamehameha should be close to somewhere near, you know, in that ballpark of, that pretty much makes him kind of comparable to Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks in my mind. That's how I've looked at it. So Goku went Super Saiyan against Legic, so, you know, let's say Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is Goku's base. Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is fairly close to Super Buu, even though he was stronger. So Super Saiyan just puts him over the edge. So since Goku had to go Super Saiyan to beat Legic, I mean, Legic would beat Super Buu. Of course, assuming the absorption and the regeneration and all that crap wouldn't give him a run for his money. But in terms of raw power, I would say Legic. Base Super Buu, you know, that is, obviously. So, come on, bro. Now you're making me do some math. Super Perfect Cell Kaioken times 100 versus Ultimate Gohan. I would say Ultimate Gohan, just based on how much weaker Cell is than Fat Buu multiple times, and then how many multiple times, obviously, Gohan is than Fat Buu. I mean, when you look at it like that, you got Gohan, who's going to be dozens, you know, tens of times stronger than just regular Fat Buu, so the math doesn't lie. Of course, it's math and Dragon Ball, so it doesn't make sense. So what I'm saying is, Cell without Kaioken beats Ultimate Gohan. I hope people could understand that sarcasm too. That's really my goal here. Let's see here. Nico Nyoko. I swear I don't know if I pronounced that name right, because I can't speak words like that. In the chat, I want Bully 2. You know, that was an amazing game, Bully. And I remember Rockstar saying that they were going to work on it after Max Payne 3 was finished. So hopefully, you know, I still stand by that it will happen eventually. I think it may be strange to see Bully 2 in a more, really is a realistic looking visual representation of the game, you know, because before it was, you know, PS2 graphics, PS2 era graphics, so you get away with a lot less. But I feel like with a more realistic visual style, if they choose to go that route with their game engine, I mean, it could be a weird game to develop, I feel like, if that makes sense. I mean, to get a T rating on a game that has realistic depictions of people beating each other up and, you know, just kids fighting, that could be a strange game to develop, I feel like, in terms of just getting it rated. I feel like it's going to have a lot of issues. Let's see this question. I'm going to ignore this one. I'm just kidding. I don't really care. What do you think of anime live reactions? Come on, be honest with us. I don't know if there's some, like, already implanted idea that I have some beef or something or anything. I don't really know about that, actually. I don't really watch other people's videos too often. I mean, even my friends, like, you know, Quaman, Black and Fist, Geekdom, Mike, you know, I don't really get a lot of time to watch a lot of people's stuff. I try to. It's not always possible, but I've seen a few of anime live reaction stuff, and I've been in a few Skype calls with him, and he seems like a pretty cool dude to me. I don't really have any issues with him. I think some of his thumbnails are a bit, a little outrageous, but that's about it. I don't really have any issues with him. The one thing I can respect, and this goes for, like, you know, Danny too, you know, Geekdom, they both have really good work ethic in terms of just getting shit out. Like, I know I haven't uploaded in the last 2 days, and to be fair, I mean, one of it was that I was out having fun with friends, and then the other half was I was having a lot of other stuff happen in life that was kind of consuming my time and making it a little bit difficult to get videos cracked down at a decent time. I had some car troubles too that I'm still trying to take care of, so I've had a couple things taken up, but you know, I gotta get the work ethic in, I guess, you know. But Danny and, you know, Anime Live Reaction, they get videos out all the time, so you gotta at least respect that, regardless of what you might think of them in general, which is hopefully good things. And that's your honest answer. So I'm trying to get more stuff from the chat because, well, that's what I like to see. Got to get a little bit of both. Let's see here. Sometimes I'm blanking because I'm looking at all the Broly with fan armor versus Goku with all main character armor. Broly with like fan armor and fan logic, I think would pretty much be on par with Ultimate Perfect Cell. Based on the fact that Broly's power is maximum, and it, according to people that don't know the original dialogue, his power rises infinitely. So it never stops. So, I mean, he's the one other character besides Ultimate Perfect Cell that is infinite. Have I really only been doing this for like 20 minutes? Like, how long have I been doing this? It feels like it's been a while, but that could just be the lack of sleep. But yeah, Broly with fan armor, I mean, you really can't beat that at that point, honestly. What do you think between the beef between Seth Programmer and Mike? I don't think there's any beef. I knew there was like a back and forth at one point. I don't think there's beef now, but I mean, I'm not involved. I haven't talked to him about it. So, if I wouldn't instigate any beef, so I don't know what to say. I'm not aware that there is currently any. So, yeah. Again, this goes back to earlier what I said. I mean, I can't decipher this kind of stuff with GT and Super. I mean, again, you can say one is easily stronger than the other, but it's just like something I can't you can't dissect it. You really can't dissect it. That's just all I can say. SS Blue Gogito, so that'd be a Vegito and Gogeta fusion versus Grand Priest. I mean, I think Gogito, but who the hell knows? I mean, what do you want me to say? I don't know, bro. Could Cell turn into a great ape? I don't think so, but I have, there is a lot of people that say that, maybe when he buffed up against Gohan, that was kind of like a giant Namekian type of form. I don't really know. I don't think he can go great ape though. I don't think so. Why do Scouters break after reading a somewhat high power level? Can the Scouters only read up to a limit of power? I think it's stupid, honestly. I think it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Especially, even though it was Raditz' Scouter that blew up. I mean, maybe higher tier fighters get higher Scouter levels, but even someone like Raditz, even though he's a not that strong of a warrior, should still have a pretty decent Scouter to be able to tell if someone's. Well, I guess it was strong enough to tell if someone was way out of his league, I guess. So, I don't know. I think Scouters are built up to a certain level of power, and there's probably different tiers of how they're mechanically built. It's built with something called plot mechanics, and plot mechanics are usually the type of mechanical parts and electronics that really suit just the plot of a story. And I just pulled that out of my ass, in case you were wondering, so that's that. What if Goten was born before Gohan? I don't know. I guess maybe he would be a Super Saiyan pretty damn quick, and that could give someone like, well, if Goten was born before Gohan, so are you just saying Goten replaces Gohan? I mean, maybe he'd be Super Saiyan by time Frieza rolled around, but I mean, that wouldn't be enough to beat Frieza at max. At that time, I don't think. So, people like to go back and forth who's stronger, Goten or Frieza. This would be a younger Goten anyway, so I'm just going to say Frieza either way. But, assuming he went Super Saiyan earlier, and I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about now because it's so weird of a question, but I'm trying to make sense of it, if that makes sense. It would be I think it would work, but I think, I think, how many times do we need to say that? I think when Cell rolls around, that could be a problem. I don't know if Goten could really step up the pace to, like, fight with Cell. That'd be a problem. I don't know if anyone in the chat, had any thoughts. I gotta look at that. If anyone in the chat had thoughts about that, Goten would be a bitch. I mean, pretty much. Yeah, he went Ichigo Kurosaki. God, I don't like Bleach, no offense. Just throwing that out there. I don't like Bleach at all. He went SSJ at like age 7, so, he'd be like 5 when he went to Frieza. So, yeah, it wouldn't really... his base would be strong, I would assume, but I don't know. But let's just see. Goten would just be Gohan. I mean, there would definitely be a difference there, for sure, in terms of character. What if Goku and Vegeta were survivors of the android attack instead of Gohan and Trunks? So you're talking about the future timeline. So, I mean, I think the easiest thing you could say is that Goku would have the instant access to King Kai, and even though it would make sense that King Kai would like contact Trunks and tell him where New Namek is, you know, everything everyone's already said, it would definitely have to happen if Goku was still alive. So, I mean, you just get everyone revived, basically, and they just form up a plan and beat the androids. That's pretty much simple as that, I would say. Or they just do the fusion dance, because there's people out there, and me and Mike have talked about this, there's people out there that say that I don't know what, like if it's a weird dub or something, but they've heard, and I know there's probably people in the chat talking like, oh, they can't do the fusion dance yet. Hold on, I'm explaining. There's people that say that Goku learned the fusion dance on Yardrat, and I'm just thinking, like, where the hell do you get the information from? Like, is that in like a weird, is that like in a dub era for like, not the English dub, but some other dub? I don't know. He didn't learn on Yardrat, that's for sure, but that was my joke, and it was a bad one, okay? I'll take full responsibility for that. Let's see here. People still going on about the Goten thing. If a Saiyan was turned into an android, could they turn into a Super Saiyan or ape? Well, when you say turn into an android, and this comes from the chat, if you say turn into an android, I mean, I assume you mean a Jinzo Negan or cyborg, really. But was Jinzo Negan's artificial human, right? So, I mean, they are cyborgs, so they'd be turning into a cyborg, so they'd still be a Saiyan. So that's interesting to think about, though, because it is a weird question. But I don't see why they wouldn't be able to go Super Saiyan. Maybe Grade 8 might be weird, assuming they still have a tail, but I'd still probably would say so. I mean, even though it's kind of I mean, Cell can transform, and he's a bio-android made from scratch, so I feel like if Cell can transform, I mean, a cyborg Saiyan could still transform. I don't see why not. Hey Josh, you think we'll see another fusion taking place in Dragon Ball Super? If so, who do you want to see the fusion next? I mean, I think we'll definitely see Gotenks at some point again, that's for sure. But again, I think I did a video on this. If we see Gogeta or Vegito again, I mean, that's really questionable. I don't know if they're going to do it again. That's the real question. But, I mean, I would still like to see another Vegito scene. I still stand by that. Even though it was way too short, and I think it was a bit of a letdown in general, I still think the Vegito fight scene in Super was so amazing looking. The music was absolutely fantastic and perfect for that scene. Animation's amazing. It was so short, but it was so good and like, you cannot sit there and tell me you weren't shitting your pants watching that scene when you saw it in Super. Even though it was a letdown in terms of its actual length. That's what she said. It was still amazing, and, you know, I got to give him credit for just how beautiful and just how engaging it really was of a scene. You know, honestly, what do we got here on time? That's the big question here, because we're about 30 minutes, so I'm going to look at the chat, take a couple more questions, and end it off. And I know, 30-minute Q&A, what the hell, right? That's short. Yeah, you're right. I'm tired, and I got to do some recording with Geek List, and I got to play Zelda tonight. I'm being honest, I just got to play Zelda. Thankfully, I have that opportunity. Let's see here. Stuff about that. I know, I'm looking at the chat. I'm trying to stall time, basically. Dan in the chat, do you think that the Grand Priest's wife will ever be shown? Probably not, but, I mean, that'd be interesting. That'd be another thing for people to gush at. They were already, you know, people already gush about Vado, so, I mean, imagine what they do to a freaking Grand Priest wife, right? I don't know. I'm surprised I haven't seen that. I mean, I haven't really looked at it, but I'm surprised not a lot of people going on about the female God of Destruction What is the name? Heelys or something. I mean, I'm sure that they're out there. I just haven't seen any comments about it. But I don't think anyone else has any other questions. They're just kind of going on about stuff in the chat. So I think it's good. It was fun. Again, apologies for not uploading the last 2 days. Just really was busy. A lot of stuff taking over, you know. So I'm trying. I'm just not trying hard enough, I guess. Got an interesting video coming up tomorrow, I hope. Even though it might seem like an obvious answer to some people, but sometimes, you know, you just gotta upload things that are obvious because no one's done a video on them, and that just gives you the opportunity to take the topics and be the king of it. I don't know. Be the first one to do it, and that's always an advantage. So, anyways, doesn't really matter. Thanks for watching, guys. Of course, as always, definitely appreciate. Definitely fun doing live Q&A as long as I don't, you know, get too many crazy questions. But thanks for watching. Hopefully, you all have a nice rest of your day, and of course, I'll catch you guys later.